fellas, how we doing? So today we're going to talk about some drills that we do with our infielders on a daily basis. We call it our hands routine. Basically, it allows our infielders an opportunity to warm up their hands, but also work on the fundamentals of infield play. We try to do it every single day, and the way I explain it to our infielders is this. As a hitter, you would never step into a game and just try to go live, right? Most hitters have a routine of some sort where they'll start off the tee, they'll go to soft toss, they'll go to front toss, they'll go to batting practice, and then they get in the game. As infielders, we want to do the same exact thing. So we don't want to just go and get live ground balls or just jump into a game. We want to start with a progression series, and we'll start with very simple roll balls back and forth. We're working on a lot of our mechanics with our hands. We'll go to a footwork routine, and we'll just kind of build our way up and build our way back to live ground balls. We want to decrease the difficulty as much as possible. That gives us an opportunity to really focus on what we're trying to do. And if we can get it to where every single time during our drill work we're doing things properly, then when we get into a game, we can allow our instincts to kind of take over, and we'll do it right without ever thinking about it. So that's the idea behind the hands routine. So today what we'll show you is a couple of drills. The first one that we do is we start on our knees. You'll get partnered up with another infielder. We'll start on our knees, we'll get into position, and things that we want to really focus on. One is posture. So we want to have our chest slightly over, our nose is going to be over our toes basically, or over our knees when we're on our knees. And this allows us to get our hands out in front of us. Our hand work that we want is we want our hands positioned basically, if you think about a clock for the infielder, it's almost a 1 in 7 position. What that does for us is allows us to receive the ball comfortably and allows our elbows to get out. So what I see a lot of young kids do is they try to get into this position. A lot of kids when they're younger were taught to field more in that alligator position where they're 12 and 6. The problem is when we get into this position with hand on top, our elbows get really into our body, and now we're not able to receive. We don't have any room for our elbows to move, and if you get in this position, you feel a lot of tenseness in your hands and your elbows and your shoulders, and it's not going to lead to smooth actions and smooth mechanics. So we want to have our hand on top, but we're going to be more at a 1 and a 7 position. What this does, again, it sets our elbows out a little bit, and now we can receive the ball. When we're doing this, we don't want to stab at the ball. We want to receive to the middle of our body. If you think about playing catch or receiving a ball that's thrown to you, you would never push at the ball, right? I want to catch the ball. I want to receive the ball. It's the same thing with fielding. Now, we will talk about how we work through short hops later on. But if it's a routine ground ball or it's a long hop or a ball that's just kind of rolling on the ground, we want to receive the ball softly and have soft hands. You've probably heard of coaches, scouts go in and watch players and say, wow, this guy's got really soft hands, right? That's a trait that those type of people, coaches and scouts, are looking for. So to have soft hands, we want to be right here. So we're going to throw the ball, basically, we're going to roll it to our partner. We're going to have our chest over, we're going to have our hands out in front of us, and we're going to receive the ball and dart throw it back to our partner. Another thing getting our chest over is going to do is it's going to allow us to get our hands out in front of our body. Right? We don't want to try to receive the ball in here. We don't have very good vision. Anytime you receive a ball, you want to be able to see the ball and the glove in the same view. And so when we get our hands in here, I can see the ball, but I can't see the glove. And that's not going to lead to accuracy receiving the ball cleanly every single time. Plus, when we get out front, our actions are a little bit easier. We can make adjustments to bad hops, and we can see the ball better. After we've been on our knees and we've done that drill, we're going to stand up. And we're basically going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to do it from a standing position. We're going to get into our fielding position. A couple of things to think about when we get into this position. First, we want to bend our knees, okay? We want to get as low as possible. We want to get our eyes in the action, okay? So we're going to bend our knees, and then we're going to bend at the waist. So we've talked about good posture before. I want to get my back as flat as possible. I talked to our players about having basically being an ironing board where I can iron something off, or thinking about a dinner table. I should be able to put a plate down and eat right off of one of our infielders' backs. When we get our knees bent and our backs flat, it allows us to get our hands out front. It allows us to get very low, get our eyes close to the ball, and allows us to feel from the ground up. So anytime you're fielding ground balls, if you want to have soft hands, if you want to have good actions, you want to field from the ground up. You don't want to be up high and then go down late. That leads to hard hands, that leads to not very good or clean action. So we want to do everything low, we want to stay on our legs, and when we're doing this, we're building some leg strength. All good infielders are going to have strong legs, so we want to get as low as we possibly can. What I talk to our infielders about is basically getting the eyes as close to the ball. It's very similar to being a bunter. The really good bunters that I've seen, they get their eyes right behind the barrel and they're able to accurately place the ball wherever they want. If you watch a bunter that's not very good, he's going to have his eyes up here and his barrel down here, which isn't going to lead to accuracy with the barrel. So get your eyes in the action just like a bunter gets his eyes right behind the barrel. Now, as I'm receiving these balls, I'm thinking about receiving. Again, I'm not pushing through, I'm receiving and I'm bringing the ball to the middle of my chest. The reason I want to bring the ball to the middle is because I want to bring everything to the same point every single time. It's going to lead to accuracy with our throwing arm. So if you think about the pitching position, right? Pitchers are the most accurate throwers on your team, at least they should be. Their job revolves around throwing the ball over the plate. If you think about pitchers, they're going to come set in the same spot every time. They're not going to come set high one time, low one time, left, right. They're going to try to make everything consistent. So consistent movement and actions are going to lead to consistent results. It's the same thing with infielders. We want to get the ball to a power position in the middle of our body every time. So when we break our hands, we're breaking from the same spot every time. It's going to lead to more consistent release point, which will lead to more consistent and accurate throws. Now, once we've gone through these two drills, we're going to progress and now add our footwork in. So we're going to field the ball, we're going to funnel to the middle of our body, and as we're funneling it, we're going to replace our feet. So we're going to take our right foot and put it where our left foot used to be, and then take our left foot and go towards the target. So what that's going to do for us is it's going to gain direction towards first base and distance, right? We always want to be getting closer to the bag that we're throwing it, especially as we get older and base runners get faster. We don't want to have wasted movement or action. So we're going to try to take our right foot to our left, take our left foot, and get towards our target. And we're going to do that while we're funneling. If we do it at that time, it's going to sync everything up perfectly. It's going to put our lead shoulder on the base that we're throwing to. It's going to lead to, again, accurate and strong throws. Once we work on the ball to the middle, we're going to go to our backhand side and our forehand side, and we're thinking about the same thing. So principles apply to no matter what ball you're fielding. If we're going backhand side, we're going to try to field, we're going to bring the ball to the middle of our body, we're going to replace our feet, and we're going to get in position to throw. Then we're going to give it back to our partner. Forehand side, exactly the same thing. We're going to field the ball, we're going to replace the feet. Notice how it gets our shoulder lined up on target, ready to throw the ball to first base. Couple key things about when we're doing this is to work below the ball again. So we really want to sink our hips. We want to get as low as possible, get our eyes behind the ball. It's going to lead to more accuracy, getting the ball in the glove. So there's our hands routine. We're going to do it basically every single day as a lead up to our footwork routine, and then we're going to push back and start taking some live fungos. A couple more things to keep in mind. First, it seems really elementary when you look at these drills. It seems really easy to field the ball, and it is, and it should be. But we're not just trying to field the ball. We're trying to field it properly. We're trying to field it with perfect mechanics every single time. If we can do it in drills, if we can build in those mechanics, then when we get into a game, we don't have to think about it anymore. So really be hard on yourself to make sure that you're not only fielding the ball, but you're fielding it with perfect technique. That's what's really going to lead you to be a better defender, be able to defend at a higher level. And the second thing I'll say is, again, although these drills seem elementary, I played for 5 different professional organizations, and we did a version of this hands routine with every organization I was with. So major league players, some of the best players in the world, aren't just going out into games and fielding ground balls. And at practice, you're not just getting live ground balls, but they're working on drills like this. They're working on making sure that they're building in proper mechanics so they can go to the game. They don't have to think about mechanics anymore. Then they can just field. Practice is the time to think about mechanics. So hopefully it helps you guys out. Again, it's really worked for us. I've used it as a coach at the college level. I use it with all of our players at Antonelli Baseball. I think it's really made a difference. And I know if you do it, if you make it a consistent part of your routine, you'll have a lot of success. So good luck to you guys.